Let's start period 5 in unit 10. What's the time? With language presentation. Please listen and look at the pictures.
Track 9, Unit 10, Period 5 and Period 6, Language Presentation. I get up.
I have breakfast.
I go to school.
I have lunch.
I have dinner.
I go to bed.
Now please again listen and repeat.
Track 9, Unit 10, Period 5 and Period 6, Language Presentation. I get up.
I have breakfast.
I go to school.
I have lunch.
I have dinner.
I go to bed.
Excellent. Now let's start with activity number 1, match, listen and write. Here we have these two characters, Walid and Hala. They are going to talk about themselves and what do they do every day. Let's discuss the pictures together. Picture number 1, get up. And number 2, have breakfast. Number 3, go to school. Excellent. And number 4, have lunch. Excellent. And number 5, have dinner. Great. And number 6, go to bed. Let's read now the sentences from A to F. A, I have lunch at o'clock. B, I go to bed at o'clock. C, I get up at 6 o'clock. D, I have dinner at o'clock. E, I have breakfast at o'clock. F, I go to school at o'clock. Here in this activity, I want you to listen, okay? And what? Please prepare your pencil. Then I want you to listen and match between pictures and sentences. And at the same time, you're going to write the time. When does Hala, for example, get up? She gets up at 6 o'clock. Okay, so in this activity, we're going to listen and what? Write the time, and at the same time, you're going to match the sentences with the pictures. So please prepare your pencil, and I will let you listen to this activity for 2 times.
Track 10, Unit 10, Period 5, Activity 1. Match. Listen and write.
I get up at 6 o'clock. I have breakfast at 7 o'clock. I go to school at 8 o'clock. I have lunch at 2 o'clock. I have dinner at 8 o'clock. I go to bed at 9 o'clock.
Now please listen again and check your answers.
Track 10, Unit 10, Period 5, Activity 1. Match. Listen and write.
I get up at 6 o'clock. I have breakfast at 7 o'clock. I go to school at 8 o'clock. I have lunch at 2 o'clock. I have dinner at 8 o'clock. I go to bed at 9 o'clock.
Great job! Excellent! Now, let's move to activity number 2, listen and say. In this activity, I want you to listen to the questions and answer them.
Track 11, Unit 10, Period 5, Activity 2. Listen and say.
1,
When does Hala get up?
2,
When does she have breakfast?
3,
When does she go to school?
4,
When does Walid have lunch?
5,
When does he have dinner?
6,
When does he go to bed?
Now, I want you to listen to the questions again and check your answers.
Track 11, Unit 10, Period 5, Activity 2. Listen and say.
1,
When does Hala get up?
2,
When does she have breakfast?
3,
When does she go to school?
4,
When does Walid have lunch?
5,
When does he have dinner?
6,
When does he go to bed?
Great job! Now, activity number 3, listen and say. In this activity, I want you to talk about yourself. You can answer the questions about yourself. Please listen to the questions and answer them.
Track 12, Unit 10, Period 5, Activity 3. Listen and say. 1.
When do you get up?
2.
When do you have breakfast?
3.
When do you go to school?
4.
When do you have lunch?
5.
When do you have dinner?
6.
When do you go to bed?
Excellent! I want you to listen to the questions again and don't forget to say full sentences. For example, I get up at, I have breakfast at, I go to school at. So please say complete sentences. Listen to the questions again.
Track 12, Unit 10, Period 5, Activity 3. Listen and say. 1.
When do you get up?
2.
When do you have breakfast?
3.
When do you go to school?
4.
When do you have lunch?
5.
When do you have dinner?
6.
When do you go to bed?
Now let's move to the last activity in this period, activity number 4, say. Let's read the speech bubbles together. When does Walid or Hala get up? He or she gets up at 6 o'clock. When do you get up? I get up at 6 o'clock. Now here in this activity, I want you to work in pairs with your sister, brother, or your friend to talk about what? To talk about time. When do you get up? When do you go to school? When do you have lunch? And thank you. Let's revise present simple. Here, these are the 7 pronouns: I, they, you, we, he, she, it. I, they, you, we, these pronouns plus verb like I go, they have, you go, we see. For example, you have, I get up, you have lunch, they go to bed. So these pronouns, after these pronouns I, they, you, we, plus verb without anything. But these 3 pronouns, he, she, it, plus what? Verb plus s, like he goes, she has, it goes. Okay? So don't forget. After these pronouns, he, she, it, after these pronouns, verb plus s. Thank you. Now let's do some exercises together. Choose the correct verb. Number 1, I have or I has breakfast. Remember the rule? I plus what? I plus verb or I plus verb plus s? What do you want to choose? I have breakfast or I has breakfast? I have breakfast. Excellent. Number 2, Walid go to school or Walid goes to school. Remember the rule. Okay? Walid is a boy. So he go to school or he goes to school? Check your answer. Yes, Walid goes to school. Number 3, Hala get up at 6 o'clock or Hala gets up at 6 o'clock. Check your answer. Hala gets up at 6 o'clock. Excellent. Number 4, they has dinner or they have dinner. Check your answer. They have dinner. And number 5, she has breakfast or she have breakfast. Remember the rule as I told you before, I, we, they, you plus verb. But he, she, it, he, she, it plus verb with s. So she has breakfast or she have breakfast. Check your answer. Excellent. She has breakfast. Great job. Now let's move to period 6, the last period in this unit, with activity number 1, write, say. Let's read the words in this box. Have lunch, have breakfast, go to bed, go to school, get up, have dinner. In this exercise, I want you to look at the pictures, then choose suitable words from the box and write complete sentences beside the pictures. For example, the first picture, look at this girl. What does she do? Okay, she gets up. Now, we want to talk about ourselves here. Look at the first example. I get up at o'clock. You have to talk about yourself. What do you do every day? And when? Okay? When do you get up? When do you go to school? When do you have lunch? When do you go to bed? Okay? So please write complete sentences about yourself. What do you do every day? Look at the first picture and the first example. I get up at, I will help you to write these sentences. Prepare your pencil and write with me. I get up at 6 o'clock, for example. Look at the second picture. I what? We have here milk, cheese, okay, bread. Can you write full sentences about this picture? Yes. So please choose suitable words from the box up and write complete sentence down. I have breakfast. When do you have breakfast? I have breakfast at 7 o'clock, for example. Okay? Look at the third picture. I know that you can write full sentence. I what? I go to school. Excellent. I go to school at. When do you go to school? I go to school at, for example, 8 o'clock. Great job. Let's move to the fourth picture. Here we have chicken. Okay? We're talking about which meal here? Breakfast or lunch or dinner? Which meal? Okay. Can you write a full sentence here? Yes. You can write a full sentence here. When do you have lunch? I have lunch at 2 o'clock. Excellent. Great. Now, let's move to the fifth picture here. Choose suitable words from the box up and write complete sentences, please, down. Now, check your answer. For example, I have dinner at 8 o'clock. Great. And the last picture we have, check your answer. I go to bed at 9 o'clock. Great job. Excellent, my dear students. When you write sentences, don't forget to start the sentence with capital letter and end the sentence with full stop. Thank you. Let's do these exercises together. Here we have 3 prepositions, as you see, on, under, at. I want you to choose the correct preposition to complete the sentences. Number 1, Monday I play football. Which preposition do you want to choose here? Monday I play football. I want you to remember always before the days of the week you have to write the preposition on. On Sunday, on Monday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday, like this. So you have to write on Monday I play football. Number 2, I go swimming Thursday. I go swimming on Thursday, under Thursday, at Thursday. Excellent. On Thursday. I go swimming on Thursday. Number 3, I get up 6 o'clock. Which preposition do you want to write here before the time? Here we have 6 o'clock. Excellent. At 6 o'clock. I get up at 6 o'clock. So before the time, okay, you have to write at. Number 4. They are playing the trees. They are playing on the trees. They are playing under the trees. They are playing at the trees. They are playing under the trees. Excellent. Number 5. She has breakfast 7 o'clock. What do you want to choose here? Which preposition do you want to choose? She has breakfast 7 o'clock, the time. So before the time you have to choose. Excellent. At. So she has breakfast at 7 o'clock. Great job. Let's move to activity number 2. Write in your copybook. I have breakfast at 7 o'clock. I want you here to what? To write this sentence for 3 times in your copybook. And please don't forget to write it within the 4 lines. Start the sentence with capital letter and end it with the full stop. So this is your homework for today. And I want you to answer these questions also again in your copybook. When do you get up? When do you have lunch? When do you go to school? And what do you do at 9 o'clock? Okay, I want you to write the answers of these questions in your copybook. Okay, don't forget, as I told you, to start the sentence with capital letter and end it with full stop, and write complete sentences. Okay, when I ask you, when do you get up? The answer will be, I get up at, okay? When do you have lunch? I have lunch at. So you have to write complete sentences. Thank you.